Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone can tell I'm a little bit nervous. I'd like to first thank everyone, first of all, for coming and making this occasion special for my brother. My first concern was that there are certainly a lot of good things to say about Lee, but then there's not that many, there's not that much appropriate, embarrassing stuff to mention. But unfortunately for Lee, I eventually remembered several things to mention. Someone once told me that myself and Lee are a bit like yin and yang, and I said, "Are you suggesting that one of us is evil?" When we were kids, I used to scheme against Lee, and I often tried to destroy models that he was building. Not a lot of people know that Lee was an incredibly creative child. Unfortunately, I was a really destructive child. He once spent a whole day building a pyramid out of Lego bricks, and I have to say it was incredibly impressive. He was really upset when I smashed that. He also remembers vividly a day when, apparently out of nowhere, I decided to push him off of the top bunk of our bunk bed, which, when I look back, backwards, when I look back is a considerable distance to fall, especially when you land on loads of stuff that's made out of Lego. He got me back though. He once dared me to press the stop button on an escalator in a shopping centre, which apparently stopped every escalator in the building. Lee has been a big influence in my life, as you'd expect. I definitely wouldn't have started playing baseball if Lee hadn't taken interest in it when he did. And that became such a massive part of our lives for 10 years, and it still is. As you probably know, Lee's a very talented sportsman, and for a long time he represented Great Britain playing baseball. As teens, we were absolutely in love with baseball, and we were incredibly dedicated to playing. My mum and dad, they deserve a medal for sitting on that field for all those cold Saturday afternoons. Rain or shine? I remember once when Lee was playing for the senior team in Hessel, near where we used to live. Me and my parents, we were spectating from the stands, and suddenly there was a massive amount of activity on the field. There was a big fight erupting, and all hell seems to be breaking loose. I think we were all thinking the same thing as we watched all these grown men pile onto the pitch for a scrap. Where's Lee? Is Lee on the field? Is Lee okay? After a few moments of chaos, we went to inspect. It turned out that out of both teams, our Lee was the only person who wasn't fighting. In fact, he was sat silently on the bench, by himself, with his hands on his head, looking tremendously anxious. A few years ago, Lee decided to put his baseball experience to use and join the softball team. As it's a mixed-sex sport, Lee was hoping to meet single ladies when he joined. But disastrously, he picked the team with the least available girls. Luckily for Nat. As many of you know, Lee has occasionally been known to get a little bit tipsy after only a small amount of alcohol. Whilst socialising with the softball team, Lee quickly earned the amusing nickname, which was followed by Obi-Wan Can Obi. Which he loves that. Then sometime later, he proudly graduated, quite recently, to Toucan. And from what I gather, he's had numerous nicknames to date, including Snake Hips, apparently due to his distinctive skills on the dance floor. Although I have to say, I've seen him dance, and I'm not sure if it's a snake. It reminds me more of something out of Gremlins. Yes. Watch out for everyone. Watch out for everyone when one can comes out. So allegedly, Lee once claimed to have been allergic to beer to get off going drinking. I don't think it's true, but it would explain a lot. You may not know Lee as a very talented gymnast when he was younger. In fact, he was so good that he was asked if he wanted to take part in ballet lessons, which he sadly declined. I've always thought that it shows in his technique when he plays baseball. Lee told me once that he'd rather be a ninja than a programmer. But there was also a time when Lee wanted to start doing karate, and it only took about 5 minutes before he was inevitably savagely kicked in the face by a fellow student. And he decided that this just wasn't for him. Unfortunately, this was only moments after my dad had paid over $5 for the session. So the only time that I know of that Lee has ever been beaten up, my dad had actually paid for it. The other day, I was on the train on the way back from a night out, and I sent Lee a drunken text message saying, "I'm very proud of you." And I got one a few minutes later saying, "Are you okay?" I am very proud of my brother Lee, and I'm pleased he's found someone that makes him so happy. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Nat to the family. I propose a toast to the bridegroom.